Part 3 of Ash vs. Leon was an unmitigated disaster. Let's jump into it. Hey, what's going on everyone? Entering Infinity here. Today I'm back with a brand new video to discuss part 3 of the Ash vs. Leon battle, which is episode 131 of the Pokemon Journeys anime. You know, this episode for me, I just felt like fell really flat on its face. So I'm probably going to keep this one relatively short because I don't want to just sit here dogging on it, but I also keep it 100% real on this channel. So if I don't like something, I'm going to say it. If I like something, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to talk about why. So for this one, for me, you know, the episode starts off, you know, where we left off, where Dragonite is about to take on Rillaboom, and going into this battle, I just felt like in order for Ash to even remotely have a chance, Dragonite had to pick up a W on this Rillaboom, which we've seen to be ridiculous leading up to this point in terms of like how hacks it is. And you know, Ash's Dragonite being a dragon and flying type, it has quadruple resistance to grass types, and you know, it just overall has a type advantage. So you know, Ash's Dragonite was in a good position despite, you know, taking a lot of damage in the previous episode versus the Dragapult. So Dragonite and Rillaboom have a pretty cool battle, and you know, Rillaboom just completely hacks, pretty much just infinitely, like whatever it needs, plot hack to like get these like infinite number of vines that come out of the ground and just like beat the shit out of Dragonite. And you know, Dragonite kept tanking hits, and I was like really happy, and there were some really cool moments. And then like again, the writers are just back into the, you know, let's embarrass Dragonite mode. So you know, Ash barely gets some damage onto it with the hurricane, and then just gets completely bodied after that, and Dragonite goes down. And at that point I was just like literally looking at the screen like, are you kidding me? So once Dragonite went down, I was like, okay, Ash pretty much has like no chance of winning this at this point. So then Ash sends out the Sirfetch'd, and then they kind of go at it. And you know, I always love how Sirfetch'd is always giving it like 150%. He went in, he tried his best, but you know, as usual, this Rillaboom with acrobatics can just do like literally whatever it wants. So it ends up bodying the Sirfetch'd, and you know, now Ash loses Sirfetch'd, and Ash is down to 2 Pokemon remaining versus Leon's 3. So at this point now it's feeling like, you know, even more impossible than it already felt to begin with. So then Ash sends out Dracovish because he's holding out for Pikachu until the end, and then Dracovish, you know, has a cool battle and does a really great job and manages to take down the Rillaboom. And then Leon sends out his Cinderace, and you know, Cinderace battles Dracovish, and you know, Dracovish puts up a decent fight, but doesn't really get too much damage, if anything, really onto the Cinderace. And Cinderace again just shows, you know, how tricky it is to deal with the Libero ability, constantly changing typings between like the Iron Head and the Pyro Ball and the Scorching Sands, and I couldn't really tell what the last attack was. I'm guessing it might be like High Jump Kick or something, but ultimately ends up taking out the Dracovish. And now Ash is down to just his Pikachu, which had already sustained damage earlier in the battle, to now take on a pretty much fully healthy Cinderace and his fully healthy Charizard, which is the most broken Pokemon we've ever seen, that still has Gigantamax available to it. So at this point I'm just like, okay, there's like really no chance for Ash to win now. Like it would just be ridiculous. So then he recalls back the Cinderace and sends out his Charizard. Ash sends out Pikachu. You know, he just goes ahead and Gigantamaxes a Charizard right away. And Charizard is just, you know, bodying Pikachu. He goes for Max Rockfall, does a lot of damage there, and then it looks like a Max Wormwind, which was like a direct hit onto the Pikachu. So at this point, I'm like, I don't even know how Pikachu's even still standing. And then, you know, for the final, you know, G-Max attack, he goes for G-Max Wildfire. And then Ash decides to use his Z move, and he does the 10 million volt Thunderbolt, and the 2 attacks collide in the middle of the air and pretty much create like a nuclear bomb, and just like detonates and kind of deals damage to both Pokemon. So we see Charizard take some damage, Pikachu takes even more damage. Again, I don't even know how Pikachu's still standing at this point. We see Charizard shrinks down to its regular size because the Gigantamax is over, and we see all the crazy energy that was expelled from all the attacks and I guess everything cumulatively throughout the battle. And now we see that it awakens Eternatus, and now Eternatus like breaks free from its cage, and then the sky is like getting really dark and ominous, and now Eternatus is like going crazy in the sky. So now seemingly this battle is about to get interrupted with some nonsense from Eternatus, which I just think is ridiculous. So that's just a quick recap in a nutshell. But yeah, I mean, for me, my problems with this episode, again, the writers, like, I feel like just absolutely hate Dragonite and just like absolutely love embarrassing it. So I thought that fight was a little bit ridiculous, and then just to have Ash just have his Pokemon just continue to lose, it's making this battle seem like there's just no way for Ash to win at this point. and for him to even win at this point would just feel like it would be like an absolute ass pull, and it would just feel ridiculous. So I feel like it's already a foregone conclusion at this point, and it's like you're just going to the next episode just pretty much assuming he's gonna lose or he's gonna pull off a ridiculous win. So that's why I kind of like took the excitement out of it at this point, because I feel like it's a lose-lose now in both situations. Like the only realistic outcome is for Ash to lose, but then he's gonna have, you know, lost in like not the best way. And I said going into it, you know, I could see both people winning, and I'm not mad either way who wins. Like all I wanted to see was an epic battle, right? This is like the finals of the biggest tournament we've ever had in like the history of the entire anime. So all I wanted was like an epic battle, and I just felt like it was just Ash getting his ass handed to him, and now, you know, the battle's being interrupted by Eternatus. And for me, like the one thing that I've always hated the most about the Pokemon anime is when they interrupt battles, especially important battles. And, you know, historically from day one when I was watching the Kanto anime, when Ash was in the Indigo League, you know, all the gym battles were constantly being interrupted by Team Rocket. You know, even Ash's epic final battle in the Orange Islands versus Drake got interrupted by Team Rocket. And there's just like these constant stupid interruptions, and I don't know who in the writer's room thinks those are good ideas, but I think to have the battle of this magnitude now being interrupted by Eternatus, I think it's just like absolutely ridiculous and just like horrible writing. And I'm just like really annoyed to see that, because now it just completely takes the whole wind out of the battle. I mean, that was already pretty much deflated at this point, but now it's like, what are they gonna have to go battle Eternatus? And now what is his Charizard gonna get exhausted fighting the Eternatus, and is that how Ash is gonna win? Like, you know, there's like nothing good that could come of it, and there's like zero reason why this should happen in the middle of this battle, and there's no reason why it couldn't have happened after the battle. Like there's like when Ash battled Alon, like that was so epic, and then after the battle, you know, hit the fan, they had to go and all band together to fight the evil enemy, and you know, that happened after the battle. Didn't happen in the middle of the battle. There's a reason why you don't have that stuff happen in the middle of the battle. So I have no idea where this is going to go from here, but I mean, no matter how you slice it, like I just think it's ridiculous to have this interrupted, and I don't know what that's going to mean for the grand scheme of the battle, but I just don't see Ash being able to win. I don't see him being able to take out the Charizard, let alone the fact that he still has the Cinderace in the back as well that, you know, has Scorching Sands and can turn into a ground type. So hopefully they can figure out a way to pull it back and, you know, get everyone excited for the finals. But I just felt like this part 3 just really fell flat, and just me personally, in my humble opinion, I was just disappointed by it. But I'm really curious to see everyone else's reaction to this, because I feel like once the reviews start pouring out on the internet, I feel like a lot of people are going to be disappointed by this episode. But, you know, if you enjoyed it, good for you. That's great. I'm glad. I wish I could have been one of you, but unfortunately this one just, you know, fell flat for me. So if you stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of the episode. I'm very curious to see what you thought, and I'll catch you all in the next one.